Hey you guys, it's Rachel here with Senza Tempo Connie Corso, and I'm out here with the dogs. As you can see, it's another really beautiful day. Hopefully I don't get rained on again. Yesterday I got rained on. And the day before. As I said in an earlier video, I got a gimbal for this thing, but I made the mistake of not downloading the software and everything before we left. So I couldn't get it to work. So I'm doing handheld. But I do have a new software program that I was learning till like 5 a.m. last night. And it has a stabilization feature, so hopefully maybe it'll fix any kind of shakiness that we're having here. Hopefully. So yeah. So let's do a bit of a hike. How about it? You ready, preacher? Are you ready? Are you ready? You're a good boy. Come on. So anyway, I'm really excited about trying to get a new stud from Italy. That's so funny. And Blondie back down. Just a little wrestling fun. Not a big deal. It's how they work out where they are in the pack without it escalating. Now, let me say this. If it was cashmere at midnight, I wouldn't let him do that. And the reason is because I know my pack. So I know what Cashmere's going to put up with and what she's not going to put up with. And she's not going to be unseated from the top. So it's really important that I never allow them to engage. And I always have to monitor them. And that's that's how you do it, that's how you keep it, in check. There are certain situations in which people can identify with that in a human setting. Probably schools have, students where they know that, maybe even in sports or foster care situations where you have a bunch of kids, group homes, jails, prisons, and juvenile centers. They probably know personalities that they have to keep from butting heads because nothing is going to come of it, you know what I mean, other than just a fight and really a war, because really nothing will be settled because neither of them is the type to ever give up. So if you know that your dog is like that, you have to make sure that you never let them engage. And as long as you never give them a reason to hate each other, meaning that as long as you don't ever let them fight, then you have a much higher chance of being able to keep them together in situations like this where you can let them play and stuff and hang out, because they don't have a vendetta against each other already. So it really takes knowing the personalities of all your dogs so that you know what you can and cannot get away with. Because there is a certain amount of this kind of stuff that is healthy, especially in puppies. As they get older, they really begin to do that less and less anyway. So you don't even have to really monitor it as much, because when you hear it, it's usually pretty dang serious, so you need to jump on it, you know. So, I've had a lot of questions about how to work with dominant dogs. One of the biggest things I think is really important is that if you can't, without a leash on, obviously because dog parks are off leash, if you can't control and recall your dog, which means when you call them, do they come immediately? And will they still come if there's a distraction? If your dog is selective in when they choose to listen to you, then you should not take them to the dog park, because you're not going to be able to call them back if the situation escalates. And that's the number one thing that you need to be able to do if you have a dog that has issues, because they usually get an attitude way before it becomes physical. And if you pay attention to that and you see your dog start to walk over there, then you have the ability to call that dog back and say, hey, get your butt back over here. And then you can make them sit, and you can make them do a timeout, make them do a submissive posture, whatever you have to do to teach them, you know, hey, I saw you. I know what you were fixing to do. That's not okay. You need to come and settle down. But you can't even begin to do that if you don't have a good recall. So for the people that that are wanting advice on that, that's what I can tell you is you need to go and do your obedience training around distractions and get that done good before you go out in a high energy area and try to control your dog, especially if they already have prior incidents under their belt. You know, good luck. I don't know if anybody ever, like I said, I know a lot of people judge me. They think I hate pit bulls, but the funny thing is you know how I judge pit bulls? Did you ever see that movie with John Travolta where he was an angel? I cannot remember what it was called right now, but he goes out and he sees this bull in this field and he's like inspired by the need to do battle, you know, and he puts his, you know, he flaps his jacket back. Oh my God, look at Blondie trying to kill Midnight. Jesus. Psh, get out of it, come on. Let's go. Midnight, move it. Ah, Velocity, no. Talk about sibling rivalry. Blondie hits below the belt, dude. Rude. She is serious. Look, Midnight's gonna school her. No, they're fine. So, anyway, so he sees that bull and he does this thing with his jacket where he puts it back like a matador, and he's ready to go. You know, he's always ready for battle because he's a battle angel. And I just love that. There's nothing wrong with having a warrior spirit. Nothing wrong with it at all. It just means that if that's your dog or that's your angel, you better keep it in check. That's all I'm saying, man. I'm not hating on them, you know, but I'm not going to pretend that they're not little warriors. I mean, that's not to say that every single one of them is, obviously. We all know that. I mean, Blondie's a perfect example of that. You could say that all Cane Corsos are protective, but that wouldn't be true for Blondie. And if you'd only had one like Blondie, then you might think that none of them are. But that would be a wrong assumption. Preacher, get back over here. So anyway, because Blondie, like if somebody knocks at the back, like if somebody's at the gate and she freaks out, all the other dogs will be barking and Blondie will be the one scratching at the door trying to get back in. She's not the least bit interested in saving anybody but herself. Ooh, look at that. Velocity stood up for herself. Very good, very even, not overly done. That was perfect. That was a good response. Just enough to tell Midnight, leave me alone. So people wonder why she used to get picked on so much. Well, guess what? Look what it did. It toughened her up. It toughened her up and it made her a better pack member. Now she doesn't get picked on as much because she stands up for herself. I cannot believe they didn't see them already. That's so funny. And she's fine now. She's happier. She's more confident. She's found her place in the pack, right? That's awesome. It's a really good thing. Midnight's got her daddy's growl. There's some guys fishing over there. There it is again. You hear that? Oh, she's got that growl. They can't get to them, so I'm not worried. All right, that's enough. Good dogs.